It works pretty good. All right, we are live. Hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie of Georgia Beer Reviews back at you today with another examination, and being joined by Mr. Michael Kormaroff in Brooklyn, New York, the beer baron.
Hello again.
Hello, Michael. So we're doing IPAs here, and Michael had this idea. He's got a beer, an IPA from Other Half. I have a beer from Treehouse. Both are 7%. So we're looking at 7% IPA. So it's kind of going to be like a Treehouse versus Other Half, and just kind of compare notes and see. We'll see which one takes the prize. So I'll let you go first, Michael. Why don't you tell everybody what you got?
Let me show everybody what the beer looks like first. It's a nice can. You know,
it is. Other Half always does.
It's like a city. This could be Brooklyn they're showing. It could be Manhattan. I'm not sure what the building. Probably Manhattan, because Brooklyn doesn't have those kind of buildings. But it's a nice, green can. And let's see. I'm going to open it up and pour it. And I've switched my beer glass into one of these. John, do you have a glass like this? It's kind of a standard.
So I've got one of these tonight. Okay. So I like drinking the IPAs out of the.
I'm going to pour it.
Snifter.
Let's see if you can watch the pour. It should be a big enough glass to hold all of it, because I think this is like a 24-ounce glass. Try to get it all out if I can. So this is what the pour looks like.
Oh, so very hazy. It looks juicy. I have a feeling the Treehouse one's going to look very similar to that.
All right. So do you want to pour yours, and then we'll come back and
yes, it's just the two of us. We'll go ahead and pour it up here. So so I showed yours. Yours was the Other Half Green City, 7%, and mine is the Treehouse Whims of a Ghost. That's what the label looks like. It looks like a bonsai tree on the label.
That's a nice label too. That's a nice.
And it's got this big description. It's gold and black label with gold lettering. So I'm going to pour mine up here. This was canned April 22nd. So this is actually old for Treehouse standards. So just under a month, old. And it looks very similar to yours, kind of like a hazy yellowish orange color. Hold yours up, Michael. We'll compare. I think they look pretty similar. Yeah, they look very, very similar. Definitely, I would say opaque. Like if you hold it up to the light, you
can't see through it.
You can't see through it. Yeah, it looks like orange juice with a head, or like grapefruit juice with a head on it.
Mine is not as fresh as yours, but it's less than 3 months old. It's from January 26th. Oh, it's fine. I had one of these already.
Yeah,
it's fine. The truth is, well brewed stuff like this lasts longer. It's just when it's fresh, it's better. But I mean, it holds up very well. You'd be surprised. Okay,
I kind of find
me to give go through my early.
Yeah, go for it. I think honestly,
as John said, you cannot see through it. And I would say, wouldn't you call this like golden yellow? How would you describe it?
I would say, like a yellow golden, or like kind of a cross between like yellow orange, very hazy, can't see through it. It looks kind of like a New England juice bomb, but we're looking at 7%, so a little bit more mild, because typically the New England juice bombs are doubles for the most part, like 8% plus. So,
and your head is also white. Mine's kind of like a foamy white.
Yeah, about the same.
All right, let me get a nose on it.
All right.
It's funny. It almost smells like it's green in what it is. So, in other words, and maybe you've had Treehouse beers like this too, like they're trying to create that greenness in the in what it is. Let's see. It's citrus as well. So I'm writing this down as I go. Citrus. Let's see what else, if there's anything else I'm getting. A very clean kind of smell. And if you've drank a lot of these hazy kind of IPAs, a lot of them have that kind of clean. I mean, the nose makes you want to take the first sip. So should I take the first sip?
Yeah, go for it.
Cheers, John.
Cheers.
Okay, it's really good. It's almost like when beers are first brewed and they try to get this kind of green kind of element where it's fresh and you can almost in the nose and in the taste, it's citrus is the lead in the front, but it's like it's more than that. You can't. It tastes like a session beer. In other words, 7%, but it tastes like a 5. There's almost no alcohol taste in it at all. But definitely a citrus front. I'd say a little bit less than medium mouthfeel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a heavy beer. And the carbonation is kind of like zesty, if you know what I mean by zesty. It's spritzy carbonation.
I feel like ours are going to be very similar because I'm getting a lot. I haven't tasted mine yet, but it sounds very similar to what you're describing, just on the aroma for mine.
Let me take another sip. It's almost like there's something in the way it's formulated where it brings you to want to take another sip. It's like it's telling you to keep drinking.
That's a sign of a good beer.
Right. Do yours. Do your.
All right. So from what you were describing, very similar on the nose, definitely citrus forward. It's kind of like, like tangerine and maybe a touch of like grapefruit, kind of like that pithy, slightly dank aroma. Getting a little bit of the malt base as well, kind of like a wheat Triscuit or like a wheat crackery type of aroma, but mostly citrus forward. It's like orange and grapefruit on the nose. It smells really good. Maybe even like a slight earthiness on it, but it's hard to tell just from the aroma. So I'll go ahead and taste mine as well. Cheers, Michael.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah, that's great. So I don't have a lot of these Treehouse kind of mid-range IPAs. Usually Treehouse has like the doubles, the triples, 8% plus. This one right at 7%. I think one of the things that it has going for it is a little bit more spritzy, kind of like you described with yours. So it's got that effervescence to it, which is really nice. The tangerine notes are there. There's a little bit of that kind of pithy grapefruit dank type note. Then you get like that wheat crackery note in the middle of the sip. And then there is a little bit of like a slight earthy hop bite on the finish. It's not really bitter at all. It's mostly fruit forward. No tropical fruit or anything like that. A lot of the Treehouse IPAs, especially the doubles and the triples, you get a lot of that mango, guava, pineapple, tropical fruit. This is, from at least on my palate, it's a straight citrus, like mostly orange, slight grapefruit, pith type note. And of course, the body, I would say it's a light body at 7%. It definitely drinks. I'll go along with the 5%, like you said for yours. It's definitely on the lighter side. I think the spritziness, that carbonation, kind of lightens up the body a little bit too, because it does have that effervescence to it. Yeah, really nice. I think honestly, the fact that this is a little bit older too by Treehouse standards, it's going on a month old. I think sometimes when you get these Treehouse beers super fresh, you get that green hop burn, which can be pleasant for some people, but some people might find it a little harsh. I think because this beer is just under a month old, that green note has kind of faded, so it's a little bit more smooth. You don't get the hop burn on the back end. There is a little dankness to it from the grapefruit kind of pithy note, but it's more on the sweet, juicy, citric acid type side, that citrus note. It's definitely not bitter. If anything, like I said earlier, it's got that kind of like that little bit of a earthiness on the hop bite on the finish. It's very well balanced. It drinks like a 5%er. It's got nice carbonation. It's super smooth. It almost has a little bit, it's definitely juicy, but it almost has like that velvety smooth kind of creamy mouthfeel that you get with some of these juicy IPAs. It's really nice. Really enjoying it.
I've decided now, after you mentioned grapefruit again, grapefruit is the main citrus that's in this.
Really? Okay. I find that it's, for mine, it's kind of like a nice balance between the orange and the grapefruit. Because straight grapefruit IPAs, like when you talk about grapefruit, I always think of like a traditional West Coast IPA. And usually those are too bitter for me. So I kind of like that the orange flavors complement the grapefruit. And there's a nice balance between the kind of pithy, bitter grapefruit and the sweet orange. It's a nice kind of
there's
combo.
Probably something else, but I'm not sure. It's definitely, it's not lemon or lime. Maybe it is orange. It's the other combination of this too. Because it's too, you're right. This is too sweet for it to be straight grapefruit. So mine must have some orange or tangerine or tangelo, some other kind of flavor.
Do they mention anywhere on the label the hop? I'm going to look at the label on mine because usually Treehouse will mention the hops that they use. Do you have any idea what the?
You know, it's funny. They're telling me they tells you the hops: Citra, Centennial, and Simcoe. But in their description, they're making it seem more tropical, and I'm not getting the tropical. But I'll look for it now that they mention it. It says our flagship IPA, Green City, has juicy notes of peach rings, grapefruit, mango, and tropical candies loaded with oats for a creamy body. All right, so there's oats in here, which is what's making it more smooth.
Okay. So on the label, it doesn't mention anything about the hops, but I'm going to go to the Treehouse website real quick and see if they mention it.
Well, the three hops that are in here are all very classic. 2 C hops, Citra, Centennial, and Simcoe. So,
okay. Let's see if I can find this one. Beer cans. See if they still have it on the menu here. It may not even be. They go through these so quick. No. So let's search, and I'll say Whims of a Ghost. See if they have the description on the website. Nope. So they don't even they go through these so quick at Treehouse. They don't even sell this one at the brewery in Tewksbury anymore. But if I go to Untapped, it says that Whims of a Ghost is a staggeringly tropical IPA featuring New Zealand hops, which I don't know how accurate Untapped is, but
that's a tropical hop.
Okay, yeah. It doesn't taste tropical, though. It's definitely citrus. I feel more comfortable giving this information from the Treehouse website, but they don't.
Grapefruit. Grapefruit is mentioned on the thing, but it seems like they're talking about peaches. I'm really not getting. I'm going to look for the taste now, which is kind of like cheating because I didn't get it on my initial.
Right.
But we'll see.
Let's see.
If there is any tropical in this, it's more in the background to me. But you know what I'm thinking, John, now? We're talking about what's countering the grapefruit. Maybe it's the peach, which gives a little bit more sweetness.
Well, you're getting like some stone fruit. It does actually say on the label for mine, captivating tropical fruit notes over a soft and pillowy body. I would definitely say, though, I'm not getting tropical fruit. I'm getting like orange, grapefruit. Maybe, though, maybe a little stone fruit, but stone fruit and tropical. When I think tropical fruit, I'm thinking of like mango, pineapple, guava. Right. I'm not getting, any of that with
I'm
mine.
not getting any of that, but maybe, like I'm saying, maybe the peach is the counter to make it sweeter. Because I actually sometimes think that straight grapefruit IPAs are too bitter and too intense. Hi, Drunken One.
We've got Drunken One. We've got a new, I've never seen this commenter before. Rubesy Boobsy is in the chat. Hello, Rubesy Boobsy. Miscellaneous is in the chat as well.
Hey, Miscellaneous.
So we've got a few people watching. All right.
Now, I didn't invite Ian because IPAs are not his.
He's not an IPA guy. Yeah.
But he understands that they're important beers in the overall picture.
We'll be doing another one soon with him. Whether we do like the Bourbon County or I'm still on the lookout for one of the Black Ops. We've been talking about doing that, so we'll figure something out soon.
I still have two of mine, so I'm ready to do one if you find one. And
yeah,
the only thing I don't want you to find is the cans, because those Four Roses, it's just a completely different ballgame. It's not, and I don't think they're bad. I just don't think they're in the same. The ones in the bottles were really high level.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really enjoyable. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I'm enjoying mine too. And I'm also, it's funny, what's happening now, and it's really a good thing to see. I was in Whole Foods yesterday, and they had two different other half products there. So other half is getting local distribution outside of what they're selling. And the interesting part is, they're not selling it that much cheaper than Whole Foods, which shows you that they're obviously making a max profit, because they should be discounting it more than they are. But that's their choice, I guess, if they can, get top price for it. One of them, I think, that one that was 6.8, and I think that was $16.99 for a 4-pack, and they had one that was 8, and that was $18.99. So we're talking over $4, $4.50. Well, $4 for a can. And I don't know, how much are your Treehouse doubles for a 4-pack?
So usually anywhere from $20 to $25 for a 4-pack.
Okay, so they're a little bit pricier than other half then.
Yeah.
But look, the stuff you brought me, it was all top-notch stuff. The doubles and the triples you brought me, they were all.
Well, obviously, I don't mind paying the premium price point, because you're always getting stuff that's within a week or two old. Like this has been sitting in the fridge for 3 weeks. When I originally bought this beer, or my wife got it because she loves, all she drinks is Treehouse and Spyglass. So she bought a variety case. So there's a bunch of them in there. So that's why I was like, oh, I can totally do the lower ABV examination, because a lot of the IPAs in the variety pack were single IPAs, not double. So when we bought the case, it was like all of the dates were like 2 or 3 days old. So this has been sitting in. It's no fault of Treehouse's that it's almost a month old. When I first got this beer, it was like 3 days. It was canned 3 days ago. So,
but also, John, when you're buying a lot of beer, you can only drink it at a certain pace. So let's say you have a couple of 4-packs. You're not going to drink a 4-pack in an evening. So you're going to spread it out and do your reviews, whatever. And some of them are going to have to take the back porch until you get to them, because that's just the way it is. But Caitlin likes their triple, which is interesting, because I liked it. I just didn't think it was as good as the double.
Yeah, this single here from Treehouse is really, it's just as good as the doubles, but it's a different experience because it's a little bit lighter bodied, and you get that that increased spritziness, that effervescence that you don't get as much with the doubles and the triples. So I like the lighter body with this one. And 7% is still, I mean, it's not quite a double, but it's a formidable ABV. I mean, 7% is no joke. You drink 2 or 3 and you're going to be feeling it.
No question about it.
Right.
And they do go down really easy. In other words, this one, if somebody poured this beer for you, you could think it's 5. Really, it almost drinks sessionable. There's one of your pals.
Josh is in the chat as well. Yeah. Cheers, Josh.
Hi, Josh. See, Josh is fortunate. He can go down and get other half in DC, but I mean, it's not like right around the corner, but he could go there to get it. And that I've never been to that one.
I don't know how he gets all the beers he does there, but he gets Treehouse sent to him. He gets Trillium. He gets Spyglass. He gets Modest Man. He gets a lot of the New England beers that are technically, or I guess I should say, not officially distroed down there, but somehow he gets.
He has a hotline.
He's got a connection down there somehow.
Send it down to him. That's good. I think I told you this story when Other Half first started and they got a reputation, people would come and wait on the line when they put out a beer, and you'd have to wait a couple of hours, then they would let you in, and they would sell everything they had, and it would always get sold out. In other words, people who came late probably didn't get anything. But a lot of the people coming would drive out to different places and trade for Treehouse and Trillium. So in other words, even then there was competition and trading off different beers but now I think Other Half has better distribution because of all the different breweries that they've opened.
Yeah, the good thing about Other Half is I can get their beers down here, which is nice, or up here, I guess, from New York. But we do get some Other Half distribution up here, which is nice.
And I would hope at some point maybe Treehouse would expand outside of Massachusetts.
Well, they do have a Saratoga Springs location, which is in New York. I know that's not super close to you.
We're talking 4 hours.
Right. Well, I mean, but that is hopeful because they are expanding. They have one location in Connecticut, and then they have the Saratoga Springs in New York. So maybe they'll open up one in Brooklyn
you can always
New York City.
I mean, they certainly, as long as their beer is fresh wherever it is, they'll get people who'll buy it. This is as you saw, this is a big beer market. There's a lot of people here.
Yeah, so they would be wise to consider opening something up.
Because Other Half is in Philly. They're also in the Ithaca area, Finger Lakes, Washington, D.C. And they have 3 breweries in New York. This one, Domino Sugar, and Rockefeller Center.
Now, the one that we went to, Michael, was that the original location?
That's the original one. That's the one that's half a mile from my house.
Right, that's the one we went. That was a great spot.
I'm happy you had such a good time.
It was great. The only thing I will say, the parking situation was a nightmare, but it was a lot of fun.
But again, we found a spot. So
yeah.
That's the thing. Parking is rough here because the real estate is so expensive. You can't get parking lots, so you have to fight for whatever. But there's on the street parking, so it's not horrible. But you have to look for parking. And
I guess if you live there like you do, you're used to that, and you kind of find spots. But like an outsider like me, like I probably would have been driving around for 2 hours trying to find some place to park.
Well, we know the blocks where there are going to be spots, and there are places you can't park. But the common theme, though, at least in the city, is most of these places you're parking in residential areas where they are, and they don't have parking lots. So I mean, I can't say there are none with parking lots, but there are 2 Evil Twin locations, and they both are residential. You park on the street and just go in, whatever. So we have some real good stuff here for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So are you prepared to rate your beer, or are you still thinking?
I think so. These are the types of beers you don't have to sit around for an hour like with the barrel aged stuff, because these, not that this is getting any worse, but you don't want to let this get to room temperature because it's probably going to deteriorate a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm at a 96. I think it's a solid A. It's not quite world class. It doesn't have quite as much complexity as the doubles and the triples because you get maybe some tropical fruit, some more stone fruit, some other flavors. This is primarily, like orange and grapefruit. However, the lighter body and mouthfeel and the increased carbonation with the single versus the double really makes this like ultra refreshing and really enjoyable. So yeah, I'm at like a 96, which is a solid A, just off of world class, but it's definitely an excellent beer. And if you like the juicy IPAs like this, I don't see how you could go wrong with a beer like this.
I'm going to go 97 on mine.
97. Okay.
So, which I'm in the same place you are. I'm on the edge of world class. It's almost there. But actually, mine is a point higher than yours because you will go to 100 and I won't. So mine will
So
show
really,
you
we're
that
probably
I'm only
we're
2
very
points away from the top that I'll ever do. That shows
right.
that I have a lot of respect for this beer. I think it's really good. And I think the drinkability is better than the doubles because it really goes down.
Oh, absolutely. Although I will say that Treehouse, Other Half, Spyglass, some of these New England breweries, the doubles drink more like singles.
That's
So
true.
like you can get, I mean, I've had a 10, 11%, a triple IPAs from Treehouse that taste like 7%, that they're very, very drinkable, which can be scary because, if you were given a beer like this at a party, you'd be like, oh my God, it's so juicy. It's so delicious. You didn't know the ABV, you drink 2 or 3 and then you're, like feeling around
you
trying
start saying, what was that?
right.
And some of them aren't even just 8. Sometimes they're 8.2 or 8.3,
right.
and those extra percentages add up. I mean, it's not like you don't catch up with you after a while.
Absolutely.
Be careful.
But yeah, this is so. I would say I titled this examination Treehouse versus Other Half IPAs, and I would say that I should have called it single IPAs because we're not talking double triple here, and they're both. I like the fact that we both got this. Kind of was coincidental. I didn't know exactly what you had, but both of these IPAs are exactly 7%. So it's a really comparable, discussion between the Treehouse and the Other Half. And it sounds like they both are in that excellent to world-class category. If I lived in New York and I didn't have access to Treehouse and all I had was Other Half, I think I would be equally as happy with the Other Half as I am with the Treehouse. I think they're, 2 peas in a pod as far as quality.
And they both seem to be saying there's more of a tropical influence that I'm actually getting. Like I'm not
Same
getting
on mine. Mine said the New Zealand hop, and then it said tropical fruit, and I don't get the tropical fruit with it.
I'm not getting what they're saying.
I'm not complaining.
No, it's
It's
fine.
delightful.
I like IPAs that are both citrus and tropical. They can be fine together, but this one just seems more citrus forward to me.
So Miscellaneous is in the chat again, and he says the Other Half oat cream IPAs are fantastic. Have you had any of
I have not, but I'll have to look for
oat cream ones?
I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, I bet those are really good too.
When you were there, though, John, you tried almost everything that they had on tap that day. So you went for it.
I tried,
4-ounce pours, and with the 4-ounce pour, you can do it without getting totally gone. Because they also do serve 12-ounce and pints, but unless you really love something, it's kind of crazy.
And the good thing about I will say that Other Half and Treehouse are comparable, not just with the IPAs, but Treehouse has barrel-aged stouts, they have pilsners, they have other styles, and I was really impressed with Other Half because I got to try. They had that barrel-aged like peanut butter stout that was really good.
They had a porter too that you liked.
I think I tried both, and I will say that they definitely were quality because sometimes you get these breweries that kind of fit it. They brew so much of the IPAs or so much of a certain style that they kind of are pigeonholed into, like that box, that style. That's what they're known for. But I will say that Treehouse brews a lot of different styles exceptionally well. And the limited experience that I had with Other Half while I was down there trying some of their other styles, I feel like they do the same. They're very good at brewing multiple styles, which is not something that a lot of breweries do. They tend to focus on one particular style.
And would you say Trillium is in the same area too, which a little bit?
Yeah, because Trillium, they've got the IPAs, they've got the stouts. When I came to visit you, we had the the sour ale, the barrel-aged sour ale that was delightful. They do barley wines, so I would say that all of the breweries that we're talking about kind of do multiple styles exceptionally well. Josh is in the chat too talking about Fidens. Fidens is another one that does not just, they do great IPAs, and that's probably what they're known for, but they do a lot of other styles that are really good as well.
I've had something from them. The name is familiar to me. I'm not sure exactly which one, but I've had something.
We've got Lep in the chat as well. Cheers, Lep. We got Josh. We got Miscellaneous DO, Shane Fudge, Drunken One. Cheers to everybody. So yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. Other half does barrel age stuff too, because
they do, and they do it in bottles though, not in cans.
Right.
And they're
so like one good example,
they're a little bit on the pricier side, but I think most barrel aged stuff is pricier. Whatever. Do you see my new Allagash pen?
Oh, nice.
We were in Whole Foods, and while we're there, they had it set up where they were giving, free tastings of their white and something else, some other beer they had. Both of them were very light, about 5%. And Audrey and I had a couple. Not very much, just a couple of sips of it, and it was good. I got a keychain, a chapstick, and a pen.
Top it off there. Yeah, that's it.
They are. I'm a lot lower than you, but they're very similar in their look. Similar color, anyway. Tomorrow is the first day of the beach club.
Okay.
We're opening our cabana, but it's funny. I don't know how it is there. It's been very cold here the last few days.
Yeah, same here. It's been we had that nor'easter come through. It's been cold and rainy. It's 50.
We probably got it right before you did, but I'm saying
it's I think 53 degrees right now. I had to actually plug in the heater again and turn it on because it was let me see what 45 degrees out here in the shed.
Let me see what my temperature is. I have we're a little warmer than you, but not that much.
Well, let's see.
56.
We are 50 degrees right now. It's going to get down.
We're 56 right now.
Okay.
It's funny. I have these other places where my sister lives in Los Angeles. It's 70. And it's right where my nephew is. It's 68 in Raleigh, North Carolina. So obviously New York, Massachusetts, once it gets warm here, the summer is very hot. So.
Yeah. I know. I'm not looking forward to although beach club will be nice, but yeah, I don't miss the summer heat down in Alabama and Georgia. I'd much prefer the cooler weather up here.
But you still get hot days. It's not like.
But always hope that it's only temporary. That you've got cooler days ahead. Down in Alabama and Georgia, it's like this is pretty much what you got to deal with year round.
I lived in Atlanta for 3 years. I also lived in. What's it called? Fort Worth, Texas in the summer. And I'll tell you, Texas is hot too.
Yeah, Dio knows about that. He's in the chat. Yeah, that's
now he's in near Houston where it's more humid, but even Dallas, Fort Worth area, it gets hot. But that's life. Do you have any show and tell? Anything you want to show?
Yeah, sure. So I showed you these already, and but I don't think I've shown the chat or the live people. So I was at a Total Wine and More not a week and a half ago, and the Sierra Nevada Norwal is always, I've had that many times, but I've always had a hard time finding the barrel aged Sierra Nevada products. So I found two. Sierra Nevada barrel-aged beers. Of course, the original Norwal barrel-aged. This one is 11.9% bourbon barrel-aged Norwal. And then they had a variation of that, which I never even heard of. It's bourbon barrel-aged Norwal, but it's their toasted s'more variation.
I've never seen that one. I've seen the
also
other one.
11%. This one was packaged November 22nd, 2024. So we've got a few months on it. This one was packaged on December 13th, 2024. So both of these are going on half a year or so old. And So yeah, pretty excited about that. And then I have the 2018 Bourbon County bottle that Shane Fudge sent me a while back. I'm kind of holding on to that for a special examination. So that's a 7-year aged Bourbon County. So yeah, those are my. You got anything you want to show?
I got one thing to show you. You told me that you had never seen any of the Three Floyds IPAs because I gave you the ones that I had out of my
right.
I had a pack of them, 4 different ones when you came up, and generally speaking, in the food co-op, they don't always have the other Three Floyd stuff. But I was there looking around, and I don't know. This is called Three Floyd Trolls.
That's the barrel-aged stout. I've had that before.
It's the barrel-aged stout, 13% with vanilla. So you've had this?
I have had that one. I want to say I actually reviewed that on my channel a couple of years ago. Fantastic. The Three Floyds, I was glad that you gave, I got to try some of the IPAs, but the barrel-aged porters and stouts from Three Floyds are fantastic.
Okay, can you see the price?
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat that price.
It's only 12 ounces, but
I paid $8 or $9 for that same bottle, so that's a deal. Did you get that at Whole Foods or the co-op?
No, the co-op. The food co-op.
That's why. Usually that bottle would cost probably twice as much. That's a deal.
See, the good thing about the co-op, the beer is just marked up 25%. So the co-op pays 25% less than that to get it. But again, it's coming from a distributor.
Josh.
He wants to change the name to John.
Guess who else is in the chat, Michael? We got Ian joined us.
Hi,
he said, Norwal is one of my DC teammates' favorites. Okay. What about you, Ian? Do you like the Norwal? Have you had, I'm sure he probably has, have you had the barrel-aged Norwal, Ian? If so, what do you think about it? How does it compare? How does the barrel-aged Norwal compare to like something like Bourbon County? Is it comparable or is it a step down? Because I haven't had them yet. I'm interested. Oh, Drunken One wants to know what the ABV on the Three Floyds is.
13 even.
There you go. That's a respectable ABV.
See, I would use this at one of the tastings at the beach club because there's 5 people, so everybody gets 2.5 ounces. It's more than enough.
Miscellaneous says, no way, not the same. I think he's talking about the Norwal compared to the Bourbon County. It's hard to, I haven't had the Norwal yet, the barrel-aged Norwal, but it is hard to beat barrel-aged stouts from Bourbon County, from the Goose Island lineup.
So, Ian, I'm on the iPad now. We failed again on the PC, but I have an iPad instead of the phone. So I have a bigger.
How old is your PC? It's probably just, your PC's probably just kind of outdated at this point.
For what the PC does for me, it's fine. Watching YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So as long as I have a mechanism to do it and I have an iPad,
right.
It's fine.
I have an Apple computer. I used my iPad for years before I got the new desktop. So Apple is always really good about the live streams, at least. So you should be fine with the phone or the iPad moving forward. You've got the same iPad that I have, the one with the button, the ninth generation.
Right. And Audrey has whatever the next one is without the screen.
Josh is in the chat. Josh does not like the bourbon, the InBev, the Bourbon County. He says any other stout greater than Bourbon County stout. I don't know, Josh. You need to get off that hate train and just accept the fact that Bourbon County makes exceptional barrel-aged stouts.
I mean, I understand the concept. The only problem is they leave them alone. So as long as that InBev doesn't bother their production, you can't really,
Ian does not really remember to compare to the Bourbon County. Lep in the chat. He is Joey Edibles is another YouTube buddy of ours. They both live in the Cleveland area. So Lep is actually he's at the bar with Joey Edibles. Well, cheers, guys. Drink a beer with us, and glad you guys stopped by. Yeah, we got some good
John, you're picking up a big following of people who are coming on to watch
Yeah.
the beer
Well,
examiner.
considering I don't do any any advertising, we just kind of do. I don't usually post like promote these things like some of these other people do, because I never really know when we're going to go live. It's just kind of usually when we do this, it's like a couple of days notice. We just kind of, oh, what do you have in the fridge? What should we review? Type of thing.
It's not a long duration before.
It's not like back in the day when I had a regular schedule. We were doing like Stout Sunday and stuff like that. You know,
I've been commenting. I watch Whiskey Scouts reviews. He's been coming on and doing some more now. And I commented, and I told him in the comment, I said, I'm not on as much, but I do come on with John. And he says, you know, he obviously sees that I'm not on with Jay or Eric, you know, doing their regular stuff. But now the summer's here, you probably, the only chance will be if I come on with you. But
yeah.
And I'm going to be away during the summer too.
Oh,
Audrey and I are taking Bryce and Chris to Greece.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Have you been to Greece before? Is this the first time?
This is the first time. So we're going first and doing one side of the island, meeting Bryce and Chris in Athens, and then doing the other side. So it'll be fun.
Well, you know, my wife, her ancestral roots, she's Greek.
Well, tell Caitlin we're going to check it out.
You'll have to send me some pictures or whatever. Caitlin would really get a kick out of that. But
during the summer,
Greece is. I mean, from what I've seen,
it's hot there.
Beautiful, but it's
hot. We'll be there.
But you're close to water. It's beautiful, kind of tropical, I guess.
The islands will be fine. It's just that it's not like you go out at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. They have their siesta and everything closes. So you have to go out and, you know, you can do stuff in the morning, you can do stuff in the evening, but the middle of the day, I guess it's just too hot. You go swimming if you want, you know, stuff like that. But we'll have fun.
You're going for how long? For a week, 2 weeks?
3.5 weeks. We're going
3.5.
Yeah, and Bryce is going for 12 days with Chris.
Wow, that's a long. Well, good for you. That's great.
We don't go that often, so when we go, we figure we may as well see as much as we can.
I won't be able to take a 3.5 week vacation until after I retire. There's no way my job would ever let me take that much time off.
No, but when you're retired, you can, and we tend to take longer individual vacations. The last time we went away was 2018, so it's been 7 years. So.
Ian is drinking along with us. He's drinking a Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Milk Stout, 12%. Yeah, those are good. You know, I like the Dragon's Milk and the Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Stouts. They're still really good, but I think as my palate has changed over the years, I find that the Kentucky and the Dragon's Milk are really kind of a step down from the Bourbon County and the like the Treehouse barrel aged stuff, Trillium. They're still great beers, but I used to kind of put them on the same level, and now I would say that they're a step below.
I've moved the Founder stuff below as well. I'm not saying it's bad.
I have as well. The main reason being that Founder's barrel aged stouts, 9 out of 10 of them are they have coffee in them, and the coffee. It kind of takes away from the barrel. If Founders, I can't think of a single Founders barrel-aged stout that doesn't have coffee in it. Can you?
Does their breakfast stout have coffee too?
Yeah,
probably does.
Yeah,
probably does.
Both the
KBS
and maple
the
syrup
have coffee.
And the KBS is heavy coffee. The CBS is coffee and maple syrup. They all have coffee in them.
Coffee based.
Yeah.
Well, what I would do with those when I did buy them is I would sit on them for a long time and the coffee fades.
Yeah.
Miss Lazy is saying Founders has fallen off. I agree.
I don't know if they've fallen off, or I think I've just kind of gotten to the point where I'm just sick of the coffee. I just want, if Founders made a bourbon barrel aged stout with no coffee, I think I might have a different opinion of it, but they don't make any non-coffee centric beers, stouts. Ian says the same thing. He tends to avoid the coffee stouts, doesn't like the bitterness. I will say that I had a 2015 Founders KBS that Shane Fudge gave me years ago. When I drank it, it was probably 2021, so it was 5-6 years old. and the coffee had completely faded, and the remaining beer tasted, the bourbon came through, it tasted like a Bourbon County because the coffee had faded. But why not just make a barrel-aged stout without coffee and see if you can compete with the big boys?
I'm with you. And it's funny, Bourbon County has done coffee stouts in the past, but I guess they've decided it didn't have enough of a market, so they don't do it anymore.
Up until this year, the last 2 or 3 years, they've had coffee stouts in the lineup. But yeah, 2024, they didn't have a coffee one. That's the first year.
No,
which that's honestly, that's fine with me because they can focus on other variations. Because the coffee one is like, you have it 1 year, it's like it's good, but the coffee is such a strong flavor. It just really overtakes. Why spend all that money on barrel aging a beer and then add coffee to it? Because it just diminishes the barrel flavors.
Are you going to be taking any vacation time during the summer at all, or are you just going to be around home?
I am taking off next month, April, May, June 16th through the 20th. So Monday. So maybe I'll get with you that week. I'll have the whole week off, and I'm not going anywhere. I just have all this vacation time that I have to start using.
So what dates are those?
It's a Monday through Friday, but the dates are the 16th through the 20th of June.
We're leaving on the 16th.
Oh God! Well, oh well.
Okay. I wish I was.
But I'm going to be taking more time off. I have a lot of PT. I had to put in for a week.
After we come back, I'll be able to, spend some time doing something again.
So Shane Fudge is in the chat still, and he mentions the Founder's Imperial Stout is a fantastic stout with no coffee. He has some aged bottles. That's great, Shane, but it's not a barrel-aged stout. It's just a straight Imperial Stout.
Right. I've had that before. That's hard to find, though. I don't even know if they still make it. He has old ones that he's saying.
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think Founder still makes the Imperial Stout anymore.
So Ian has a lot of vacation time to use.
There you go, Ian. Take off the middle of June. Come visit me in Massachusetts. We'll hang out and drink some good beer. Bring some of those beers from your cellar, and we'll have a party. There's Joey Edibles. STD says, "Yo, at the bar with Lep." Well, thank you for sitting at a bar and watching our live stream. That's you could be doing much better things with your time. We appreciate you joining. So yeah, we're going on 50. You want to wrap this up, and I'll post.
Fine. That's fine.
I know Dio, Miscellaneous, Shane Fudge, they might join on the off air, so I'll just post the link in the chat right before we go off air, and anybody that wants to come say hi and hang out for a bit, they can. Shane says that
sure we can do another examination before I go.
That's another month away.
And I'm home in the evening. We go to the beach during the day, but I'm home in the evening.
Yeah, we'll get together. We'll talk to Ian, and maybe we can do something that he can join, like another barrel aged something or another, and see what we can come up with. But okay, so 96 for the Treehouse, Whims of a Ghost, and 97 for the other half. So I guess if we're going on numbers, I mean, it's very close, but I guess we could say other half had the slight edge with this one. But it sounds like, based on the flavor profile and everything,
kind of a 50-50 thing.
Yeah, very similar IPAs, the two that we had. So in closing, I will say Treehouse, if you can get them, can't go wrong. Other half as well. If you like the juicy IPAs and you don't want a double or a triple, you can go with a single from either brewery, and I think you'll be happy with either one. And it sounds like the dates, well, definitely the dates for Treehouse are going to be fresh because they don't distribute, but other half, I mean, if you're close to one of their breweries, you're going to get good dates, and especially, I mean, Michael, you can go to the actual brewery, you're going to get super fresh cans. So yeah, great examination. And look, right at the end, Gabriel Celaya joined. Hello, Gabe. Better late than never, Gabe. Cheers to you. We appreciate you joining. But we'll go ahead and wrap up the live stream, and thanks to everybody in the chat, and thanks to everybody watching. We appreciate appreciate you guys, and we'll do another examination soon. Until then, we'll close it up by saying cheers. Everybody have a great Memorial
Cheers,
Day
everybody.
weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.
All right, I'm going to post the, hopefully I don't regret this. I'm going to post the link in the chat for anybody that wants to hop on. All right, cheers, guys. Have a good night.
Take care.